everybody! Hi, Dai! Hello! Hi! I realized it's been a while since I streamed. Like, genuinely, it's been a few days. So, happy to see you guys here! Hi, Carrot! Hello! Hello! Yeah, so, I've been busy with work. So, yeah, I thought I could stream more, honestly. I thought I could stream more, but it turns out I was probably a bit wrong about that. But in any case, let's not talk about work, okay? I'm just glad I am back. Hello! Yes. So hi to everyone. I hope you're having a great afternoon, a great morning, great evening, wherever you are. And I'm just so happy to see you. Happy to see you guys. Milk Tea's happy too. Okay, I'm sure you can tell. Milk Tea is also happy to see all of you. Yeah! So today, the plan is to just finish off episode 5, okay? Because I looked it up and there are 2 parts left. There's like, okay, so you can see the slot is called Final Day Trial Letter. Okay, I kinda went to look it up to see, to estimate how long it's likely to be. And it seems like there are two parts to it. Oh my. Thank you for the 7 months. Perfect Dark. Oh my god, it's been 7 months. Hello. Hype, that's right. Hype, yay. I can't believe it's been that long. Has it already been 7 months since I got affiliate? Has it been that long? Yeah, it's probably been that long. And thank you for being around for so long, Perfect Dark. Okay, I hope you enjoy your VIP status. Yes, thank you for supporting Shib for like 7 months. Thank you. 7 months is a long time. It's more than half a year. That's a long time. Yes. So, it's probably gonna be a decently long ride today. So, I hope you guys can be a bit patient with me. Yeah, as you can probably already tell, each part can reach about 3 hours. Almost 3 hours, I think. I didn't actually look at how long the previous streams were. How long were the previous streams? Do any of you guys remember? I recall it being like past the 2.5 hour mark, but yeah, either way, I said we're gonna like we're gonna complete it either way. I followed you October 10th, so more or less. What? October 10th? Okay, I believe I got damn. I don't even remember. Hi Bush, hello. Good morning, Divine Mirror. Good morning. Why am I a gremlin sheep? I'm not a gremlin. I am just sheep, okay? I am the queen sheep. Yeah, do not call me a gremlin. Yes, hello everyone. It seems like all of you are having a great time. I too am having a great time seeing all of you. Stream, that's right, stream. Yeah, the weekdays have been pretty intense. Okay, they have been pretty intense. So I'm just glad that I could kind of like wring out some time to stream today. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be playing Pickle Park with my homies. We haven't entirely confirmed who will be there, but the stream itself is confirmed. Yeah, B-Day coming soon, right? Yeah, my B-Day's coming soon. That's right. But I thought I would have more energy and time to organize something like a subathon or something, but I genuinely have no energy. So I would probably stream something to celebrate it, but no subathon probably. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot more planning than I expected, but I just hope to see you guys on my birthday stream. Yeah, I already planned how to celebrate with my family. Like, we're gonna celebrate with my family a day before, so on the day itself, there's time to stream and see all of you. Yeah. Oh well, it is what it is. That's right. It is what it is. I honestly... Yeah, it is what it is, And besides, I just debuted it, so, I I think I should wait maybe a bit longer before I do a subathon, and I want it to be a good one. So do let me, do give me some time to plan something nice. All right, I want to make it worth your time as well. 4 ads. Well, Perfect Dark. I mean, thank you for supporting me and removing ads for yourself. That's a huge perk, don't you think? Yeah, Pain. I honestly, okay, because what I added was what I ran at the start was actually one ad while my waiting screen was going on. Okay, so I usually do that so that you guys don't have pre-rolls for at least 20 minutes. But yeah, I cannot control how many ads are shown. Time to give Shib that sweet $0.0000257. Hey, I didn't even get that much, okay? Most of the revenue goes to Twitch. Like, it's not to me. Yeah, I wish it came to me. Alright, then you guys would probably feel at least alright watching the ads, but no, it doesn't go to me. It doesn't make sense. I would turn it off if I could, alright? Like, it makes me happy enough that I can have all these affiliate perks, but the the ads? Ugh. No thank you. Thank you for the head pad, Divine Mimmer. Thank you for the head pad. Yes. Sheep gets all the head pads, and Sheep should probably start right now. If not, she will never start. Okay. Let's begin the final day. Trial letter. Let's go. Yes, load it. Load it. Okay, as usual, I will have a tab open. Okay, I will have a tab open that has the guide in case I get a bit stuck. But, I'll do my best anyway. Yay! Okay, February 25th, 12:06, District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. Why is he so silly? This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Wait, Gumshoe, what are you doing here? Oh, I guess I am. I'll come back later. Oh, poor Gumshoe. So what's this game about? I see. This game is about being a lawyer, and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney is one of the best lawyer games out there. I don't think there are games that even come close to how famous it is. The cases are also known for having plot twists and turns that you didn't think were possible, but somehow they pulled it off, Yeah, like, you just imagine the twists and turns in your favorite Korean drama, then you multiply that by 5, and that's kind of what this game is about, I suppose. All the mysteries and stuff like that. We're doing DL6? Yep, we are doing DL6, I think. I completely forgot which case we're doing. We are doing a case where apparently two people died. No, not two people. One person died in 2 places at the same time. Like, it was insane. Okay, like, we have unraveled a lot more since then. Yeah, so that's what the game's about. Oh my gosh, I just realized Detective Gumshoe kind of like interrupted a lover's quarrel, probably. Lover's discussion. Okay? Like, I kind of ship Phoenix and Miles, kinda. But it's only because they give me so much material to work with, okay guys? Like, cut me some slack. Wait, Detective Gumshoe! What is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal! Making a detective run all around while on duty. That sounds like a new problem. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. What the hell is that? A children's book? What is that, guys? What kind of book is that? Evidence law with like a chick. A literal, like, chicken baby chick. Hi, Kachos, hello. Hi, Kenner727. Is that how I pronounce your name? Yeah. Glad you guys are having a chill day, okay? It won't be chilled that much longer because this case is gonna take us for another ride, but like, just enjoy the chill while you can. Yeah. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law. Really? I mean, yeah. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, ooh, him, you're going to need this book. What, this children's... I'm sorry guys, it looks like a children's book. Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Yes, you do, Phoenix. In fact, you probably should already know what evidence law is. Okay, from Miss Sky explains the 2 rules of evidence law. Okay, guys, we need to do some studying, okay? Today, evidence law. We need it for the next one. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. Oh, yeah, she did nothing wrong. Damn. I see. Kinner is. Could you at least tell me how to pronounce your name? Don't just say "lol nope." I'd love to get it right. Thank you. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Oh ho ho! Mr. Edgeworth! The real trial today hasn't begun yet. Oh ho ho! What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Sky found out she unwittingly caused the man's death. And now, you're telling me you want to do more? I mean, guys, to be fair, Gumshoe kinda like lost his job helping us out, so I guess he's kinda pissed. You've gotta be kidding me, pal! You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. Guys, she did not murder, but then who did? Who did then? Who? It's pretty much Connor. Connor. Okay. Hi, Connor. Nice to meet you. Connor. It's yellow, says 3 AM. Aw, I see. Yeah, go sleep, okay? Carrot, please go sleep, get some rest, and I'll see you for another stream sometime. Which hopefully is back to its normal stream hours. Hopefully, okay? But no guarantees. I'll do my best, okay? No guarantees. In which case, guys, let's proceed. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. Finally, my man's Phoenix and Miles, working together in tandem is perfect. What? And we're going to expose him. Him being Damon Guns, right? Damon Guns. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. What's the normal stream hour? It's usually in about normal stream hours is usually in about 5 to 6 hours. Past this time. This time plus about 5 to 6 hours. That's my usual stream time. Yeah, cause I know time zones. I'm in the GMT plus 8 time zone, guys. So it's right now it's 3:44 PM on my side. So yeah, so calculate from there, I guess. So I usually stream about 9 PM my side, 9:30 sometimes, but it's usually around then. Okay, February 25th, 12:52 District Court, courtroom number 9. Let's go. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Oh. Yes, well... Normally, this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. Oh my gosh. Guys, confidence is sexy. Edgeworth is being really sexy right now. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? Ooh. That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. Guys, he trusts Phoenix so much. I trust him so much. Hi, Shadow. Okay, goodbye, Carrot. Yes, same time zone. That's right, same time zone. Objection. Yes, objection. Let's go. Yes, Shadow, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah, I've been a V-tweeter this past week, okay? I know I'm good at V-tweeting, but, ultimately I still want to stream. So thank you for being patient with me until I could continue streaming today. Yeah. But, let us continue with Miles trusting Phoenix. Beautiful. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It will prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Deals? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. He's a genius! Let's clap for Edward. He's such a genius. Let's go. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The, defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright? Ding! You know when this sound effect comes, like the ding? You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. I mean, this is a no-brainer, guys. It's obviously Mr. Damon Gant right here, okay? Damon Gant, age 65, District Chief of Police. Though he might not seem it, he's top dog in the PD. Damn. Imagine streaming. Just stream once a month. No, Shadow. That's not good at all, okay? I committed myself to streaming more than once a week, please. That's not good at all, okay? I intend to stream more. Okay, let's go. This should be the correct one. I call Mr. Damon Gant. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Aha! Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. Alright. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Yeah! Edgy boy, yeah. Oh no, there we go. There we go. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. I felt that. Like, this guy's sus, but I felt the part where he got interrupted from lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy. Are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. If I feel him, food is important. That's right, Shadow, food is important, which is why I had a good lunch before I started to stream. Okay, I hope you guys have got food. F, he's got a banger theme though. Yeah, his theme is like solid. I love it. I would use this theme, okay? Alrighto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. Num 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 num, he shakes his head. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. The music is gone. Son, either you're very brave, or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that the police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. No! Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony. Okay, let's start. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Damn. Okay, that wasn't too much to take in. Like, we kind of understand that, but it sounds pretty airtight. How to poke holes in it? Damn. Hi, Chris. Hello. Welcome to Shib's stream. Welcome. Yes, I'm currently trying to be a lawyer, so hope you guys enjoy the ride. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Nail flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. Okay. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. How is this judge still in power? Hey, can you have a more discerning eye? If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Ooh. Wait, what? Giotto. Did you do something? Oh, no. Let me like refresh. Have I done it? Wait, where is my alert? Excuse me, why is my alert not? Alert box. It's here. What? Alert. Hello. I trusted you. Alert. But thank you for the donation. Perfect. Oh my god, I don't know why. I don't know why it did not show up. Like, where is it? Excuse me? Give me a moment to check it out. Thank you so much. Man's useless. That's right. Man's useless. He's absolutely useless. You know what's also useless? The alert box. It did not alert me. Oh, come on. Why are you like this? Streamlabs. Give me a moment. Let me set this straight with Streamlabs, okay? I'm pretty sure they're all. Let me test it out, okay? Let me test it out. Test like bits, alright? Yeah, it's supposed to do this! It's supposed to do this! Excuse me? Wait, let me try and like test this. Yeah, it's supposed to do this! I'm so angry! What the hell? Okay, I'm sorry. You can blame it on Streamlabs, but thank you very much. Thank you very much, Perfect Dark. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, see, when I tested it out, it showed up, didn't it? Right? It didn't do anything. If it did something, I would have heard it and I would have acknowledged it. Oh my gosh. Annoying. Okay, you know what? To fix that, I'll open up the Streamlabs alert box tab on my computer. It's not supposed to need it. Excuse me? Huh? Excuse me? Angry. Yeah. Yeah, Streamlabs, it be a bitch sometimes. It happens. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I feel sadder for Perfect Dark though. Like, you know, if you do donate to someone, like the alert means quite a bit, so yeah. Thank you anyway. Thank you. I'll probably buy bubble tea with it. Thank you. Yes. Hello, Kiyu. Hello. Angry sheep. No, I'm no longer angry. I'm just frustrated. Okay? And frustrated sheep will now question Mr. Damon Gunt. An asshole. And I'm not in the recent dono box. Okay, that one. Recent. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Streamlabs. Streamlabs, please. Please. Okay. The worst part is it appears in my activity feed, okay? Like on OBS, I see exactly what you did, but it did not appear in my Streamlabs labels. Hello? Fam? Okay, so this is your subscription, but where is the where is it? Where is it? Yeah, I will see if I can fix that later. I'll come back to it, I promise. Session restarted. Yeah, you better restart the session. You better. Scuff Ripperino, that's alright. Yeah, it's okay. Let me at least try to restart and see if it does anything. Okay, the stream labels. Yeah, this is why I don't like using stream labels. It doesn't update like it should. No recent events. It doesn't even record it. Hello? The donations should be... Wait. Did something happen? Yeah, it's a bit wonky. It donated this one. It's supposed to like donate a specific... This is so weird. Those are events. Yeah. Yep, anyway, let's see if it alerts. Cause I could recreate the prime the prime thing, but I cannot recreate anything else, yeah. Daijoubu, okay. I'm watching you, Streamlabs, I'm watching you, okay. We will now move on to questioning. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. Questioning him how? As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Was the defendant, Lana Sky, also present in the room? Defendant? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. Okay, she wasn't there. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. Do not make a long story short in court. Explain. Explain, sir. Explain. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. Okay. What's this about a power outage? Okay. The plot thickens, guys. Streamless sweating right now. It better be sweating, okay? I'm annoyed at it. Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went into his heart, though. You piece of... That's not something you should be joking about. That was mean. Yeah, that's not funny. That's right, Phoenix. That's not funny. That's mean. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. What do you mean? Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Okay. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls. Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. Let's go. What do you mean? How can you know that? Because of the victim's body, it had already been moved. So that means... You found the body near Lana's desk? That's right. I think you said earlier. It was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor? Yes. Anyway. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Yeah, I wouldn't say that right now. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so he's claiming that by the time he got there, she already did her thing on the crime scene. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable, no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. Let me try. Let me just screenshot this. This is funny. If you're going to stare at anything, stare at me, says Edgeworth. Stare at me instead. You'll be better off staring at the court record. Worthy. Always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence. But that can't be the whole truth. Yeah, you can't forge everything. That sucks. Somehow, I've got to link Gant to the incident. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, I found Lana there. Yo! Hello, guys. Okay, now you're working, huh? Now Streamlabs is working. Hello, Suzuyun! Oh my gosh, thank you for the raid! Hi, everybody! Hello! Chotamate. Where would you be? Let me type out. Let me make sure I get the correct number of ends in there. Suzuyun, yes, it's a beautiful raid. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, raiders. Shout out Suzuyun, yay! Go! Yay! Oh my god! Gift to the tier and thank you for the gifts, Anonymous. Thank you. Welcome, raiders. I'm Miri Shiba. Okay, I'm Miri Shiba. I'm a Shiba VTuber. I play all kinds of games. I love bubble tea. I love snacks. And I love to have fun. Welcome to my stream. I'm sorry, but Sugoi Dekai is why I'm here. Oh, by Sugoi Dekai you mean my eyes, right? I knew it. All of you love my eyes. They're beautiful. Thank you. Let's go. Yes, my eyes. My eyes are gorgeous, guys. You know, Sugoi Dekai. Yeah, very big eyes. Yes, that must be it. Yeah, I hope your stream went well, okay? I know when people say just chatting streams, they tend to have a more comfy thing going on. So, yeah. Hope you had a great time. Your eyes are very enchanting. That's right, my eyes are enchanting, Shadow. Why are you doubting him? Don't doubt him. When I went to my office, I found Anna there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. It's the eyes, man. That's right, it's the eyes. Arrange the crime scene. I don't know which line it is I have to present on. Court record. Miles gave me a hint, right? Court record. Yeah, there's so many things, okay? Like, there's so many things here. What the hell? Half of this is okay. Alright. Evidence list. SL9 incident files. What the hell is there? Close perpetrator. Serial murder. Sentence death. Hit prosecutor. Witnesses. I feel like there's nothing here. Hello, yeah, believe him. I placed 10 hours of Apex into just chatting. Excuse me, Zuzu, that's terrible. Please change your category. Yeah, but anyway, just it's good to be young, you know, being able to play Apex for so long. That's great. Just chatting is my scam. Yeah, stop scamming people. They came here for a comfy time and they're feeling so attacked. Okay, don't do that. Okay, I'm gonna consult the guide because you know. I know he's an OG son. Is that so? Is that so? Okay, I believe you. Okay, so let's see. Guns's you dark. Okay, it's clearly not present the. Okay, cross-examination. It says that he's lying. I mean, yeah, obviously he's lying. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna need a guide on this. I'm just waiting for Ennis. Also gonna like and want to play Phoenix, right? I see. Thank you so much. Okay, good luck with your Ennis. Good luck with your Ennis. And thank you once again for the raid. Okay, fifth statement, right? Okay, so the guide says fifth statement. His fifth statement is which one? Okay, this is the second. Okay, this is the third. This is the fourth. This is the fifth. Okay, as you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. So what we have to present to him is the face. The face. This one. Okay, the unstable jar. Okay, if you recall, when we found out about the vase, we did find a fragment of it in the safe, like Damon Gunn's safe in his office. So that was really suspicious, and we should honestly just like go for it. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. Nope. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example. That's that blue badger you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Speechless. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Huh? How's he gonna defend himself this time, though? Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. Come on, guys, they're destined rivals. Let's go, let's go, destined rivals. Let's go, fellas, yeah. So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who? Me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Oh, Suzuyon, why did you redeem an Ara? Okay, guys, Suzuyon has redeemed an Ara, and I will not deprive you. I will not deprive you. There's your Ara. Perfect! I can't believe you saved up for a woof woof. Okay, let me set the timer. Okay, the wolf will be here for like 5 minutes. Okay, guys, the wolf redeem starts now. Well, wolf, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence, wolf. He's accusing Phoenix Wolf. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know, Wolf. Defense attorneys can do so too, Wolf. Isn't that right, Righto? Wolf. Objection, Wolf. However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Wolf. Worthy, my boy, Wolf. Not even detectives are exempt from the law, Wolf. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment, Wolf. What? What? Wolf. If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work, Wolf. He'll end up paying to work, Wolf. That sounds like a terrible disaster, Wolf. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, Wolf, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, Wolf, and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene, Wolf. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put 2 and 2 together, Wolf. Okay, we're gonna start with evidence and forgery testimony, Wolf. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list, Wolf? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office, Wolf. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. Wolf, if they were found after Dart was convicted, then they're worthless, Wolf. There's no reason I'll participate in a forgery, Wolf. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way, Wolf. Sounds sus! Guys, it sounds super sus. What? Nani? What? The sasu? Sasu? Super sasu? Hi, Shiori! Hello! Glad to see you, Shiori. And no, you sus. Chonky, please! Why is it that every time you surface out of the viewers who come into my chat, I always feel so attacked? Mr. Wright. Wolf. Yes, Your Honor? Wolf. When investigating the crime scene, Wolf, you should have been more careful to observe protocol, Wolf. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right, Wolf? There will be consequences, Wolf. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges. So you won't make the same mistake again, Wolf. My apologies, Chief. But would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that, Wolf? Today is... well, you know. Alright, D. In return though, Wolf. I know. That plays, right, Wolf? Huh? What are these guys? Telepathic? Wolf. Telepathic, Wolf. Yes. Cause on your fan. I see Chonky. I see Wolf. That's what you are, Wolf. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office, Wolf. Let's see, Wolf. This should probably be, you know... And we do it? Yeah. Well, just press him on everything, Wolf. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point, Wolf. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that, Wolf. What? Insulting everyone left and right. That's Mr. Damon Guns, guys, Wolf. I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped, Wolf. Mr. Wright, what are you saying, Wolf? Okay, and the Wolf redeem has ended. Thank you. Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Raito's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. Okay, let's press him on this as well. Hold it! What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence isn't found... if concealing evidence found at the crime scene isn't forgery... I'm not through speaking yet, Raito. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. Excuse me. Excuse me. How dare you? If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they are worthless. Explain yourself, sir. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. Plot twist. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dart was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Aishido, hello. Right? The chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Thank you for the follow, Funzet. Welcome to the sheepdom. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Raito. Think about it. This guy! Oh, there's no reason not participate in a forgery. Ha ha! You sure? How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Nail? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Sky. He pisses me off! Oh. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all of this. Oh? I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would of course be the position you have. Chief of Police. Oh! The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Oh, that's a good one. The theme is back. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. Oh, you insufferable. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Did he maybe, like, do it so that he could have Lana under his control? Because that kind of sounds like something he would do. But I'm not very good at guessing this kind of stuff, you know? Maybe he did it so that Lana will be under his control. Like, you know, if he helped out Lana, then, like, help Lana hide the fact that her sister freaking murdered someone, then maybe she would do something for him, but that's kind of just speculation. That's just speculation. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. What a smug ass. There, it's out in the open now. Gee, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? By all means, please do. Okay, so he's gonna change it. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Okay, so he added this line, right? He added this line. Woo. How do I do this? What? What? But I cannot. No. Okay. We'll press him on this, and then we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Nothing in it for you? Nothing in it. Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. Okay? You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. There have been something in it for him. Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? I mean, obviously! If they're asking me... Obviously there's one. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright. It appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gunt may have helped forge evidence? I know I said yes, but I didn't think I'd get this far, you know? He probably helped Lana. Right? Please. Please let me be right, please. Hi, Zaki! Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. The defendant? Okay, I think I'm right. Phew. Thanks for the hit, Pat. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gunt, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed Chief Prosecutor at the Prosecutor's office. The person who arranged the job change was you, Chief Gunt. Get him, that's right, I'll get him. Don't worry about that, I'll definitely get him. But how would he profit from all of this? He would be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. I knew it, guys, I knew it. He was gonna use Lana. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? How is this judge still in power again? How is he still in power again? Can someone enlighten me on this? Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive? To appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her. Right, oh my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'll testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless... That is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that the Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? What? Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible. I don't know, Judge. I don't trust your judgment. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edwards said in easier to understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. You're working together, I love this. It looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Good question. Regardless of his rank or titles, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. Evidence, okay. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got. And it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. I remember there was one where we had what is it? This one? Yeah, I think it was this one. See? Because you know why? We found out that 7 okay, we found out 7 sevens is actually the chief's number. So I believe this should be the one. Okay. We're gonna use this. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 7 sevens. I'm not gonna say it out. 7 sevens. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits. You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7777777. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. 420 plays it, guys. Haha. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. He's finally sweating. We got this guy. He's sweating. Yeah! He entered it. We got this. Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright to be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me. When you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do at the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. Objection! You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? I like how the judge is as like invested in this as I am, because it's like he's a judge. He's supposed to be. Hold on, let me grab something. He's supposed to be, you know, very like, you know, yeah, I know I'm on top of things, but he seems to be just as you know, surprised as us when things happen. How is he still judge again? I think that's like the 5th time I've asked this. I got a hangnail. Give me a moment. I need to get rid of my hangnail. I'm getting rid of my hangnail. I hate hangnails, guys. You guys hate hangnails as well? I hate hangnails. Did I mention I hate hangnails? I hate hangnails. Ah. Okay, that should do it for now. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. He's still judged because of his magnificent beard. You're right, his beard is truly magnificent. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Okay, but first of all, what's the two explained what are the 2 rules of evidence law? No evidence was shown or is just that evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay, got it. What's this? A piece of cloth. Right, defendant's muffler, luminol fingerprinting set. Marshals, we used this in the case previously. Oh, it just has her prints on it, right? It's just a handkerchief with her prints on it. I don't think there's anything here. The victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Wait. This is Miles Edgeworth. Is it this one? Prosecutor's office crime scene. I'm gonna at least try, like, But no, this is his ID card. Wait, what? I'm so confused. Oh, is it this one? Is it this memo? No, there's got to be something more solid than this. Oh no! Detective Goodman had to go to see Chief Gunn. Sorry to interrupt your mumblings, but the court is waiting. No! No! Wrong one, no! Hi, Hardcore Hunter, hello. So what is it? Okay, why don't you come meet with me tomorrow? Perhaps you could write up your letter of termination? Regardless, you did see Detective Goodman that day. In that case, Mr. Rat, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet you. Okay, wait. It's like... What do we have here? This way. Guys? I think we have our proof. Can only be submitted to the Chief of Police. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the Chief of Police. Yet you are in possession of the report. Which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Okay. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait! The Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He sure did. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Objection, oof. Sorry, but that's not possible. Ooh. Thank you, our boy Miles. Edgy boy. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No! Oh my god! Oh my gosh, guys! Yo, hi Mercurian boy, hello! How's life? Perfect right now. I got to stream and I will stream tomorrow as well. Just probably not at this time, but yeah, finally some weekend streaming, you know? Then next week I'll see about having maybe a more relaxed schedule. I kind of want to make something regular, but we'll see how that goes, okay? For now, we'll just complete this case. Chief Gant, didn't. The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as the place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Okay. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office's parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know? And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Honestly, Meekin sounds like someone who would do it, you know? Hey you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office? I don't think so. Oh my gosh! What? Thank you for the raid, means a lot! Hi raiders! Hi raiders! Hello! Thank you! Hold on, let me quickly just give you a shout out! Thanks, means a lot! Oh my gosh! Thank you. Wait. Why is it not here? Okay, have I already sent it out? Yeah. Oh no, I haven't sent it out yet. Memes a lot. Thank you. Hello, how was your stream? Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Oh my god, you're way ahead of me. Someday I'm gonna stream that too. Yay! Thank you, a fellow Ace Attorney fan. Thank you. Hi Raiders, I am Miari Shiba. I'm a Shiba VTuber, a variety streamer who loves to have fun, drink bubble tea, and eat all the snacks in the world. Welcome to my stream and welcome to the Sheepdom Pensravaganza. I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you to Sahara Lee. Thank you. Thanks for joining the Sheepdom. Thank you. Okay, so right now Sheep is playing episode 5. We're still trying to pin the blame on the chief, you know, gotta give us some time. Hello, thank you. You have a lot of good game to enjoy, is that so? Thank you, Ziku Feast. I look forward to it, okay? I look forward to it. Like, this seems like it's just the first game. And I have the trilogy, so I have a lot ahead of me. Yes, thank you once again, and I hope you have a good time. Chief Gund, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. What clue? What clue? Have a great game. Thank you, Mimzola. Thank you. Hope you had a good stream. And see you next time, hopefully. Hopefully. Let's go. How could the chief have moved the body? Yeah, how did he move the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. How did he move the body? To move the victim's body, Chief can't use this. Is it this one? I'm only joking. If it's really this one, I'm gonna like off myself. What? How do you move it? There's freaking nothing else but that thing. Oh my god. Is it this one? Everything's so cute. Thank you, Percy. Yes, that's my brand. I love everything cute. I am cute. So. Allegedly, okay, let's try this. If it's really this, I might just end myself. Well, no, it is. Guys, it is. It actually is. I see. Maybe I'll use this later. To move your dead body, Mr. Wright. Dangerous. Huh? And all of it is both of them. Okay, it was wrong in the first place. It was wrong. Chief Gunn stayed at the PD and Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office. That leaves only one possible way he could have moved the body. One way we could move the body. Let's look at the court record. There has to be something. Okay, this one. King of... Not this one. No, not this either. Not this. Obviously not this. I'm sorry, Blue Badger. You suck. Yeah. Goodman's a top 0 report. No, not this. Not this. We used this already. I almost chose it, sorry. Let me see. Victim show. ID card record. Screwdriver. Choto. Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth. Brought back to his office by Brand's request. Yeah, this is kind of an odd one out, but let me look at the rest. Lost item, use this. We also use this. Rubber glove. I don't think we need this evidence locker. Lights up. This isn't a hint about how they moved it. Yeah, thank you for joining the system, Yeezus. I hope I pronounced it right. Security video, incident files. There's no way. Ow. Evidence law. Okay, right back at the start. You know, the only suspicious one I find here is probably the screwdriver. Okay, let's go with it. Let's go with it, please. Okay, right. The only problem is how do you get him to do it? Wait, how do you get him to do it? Him? Who? Miles? Wait, I think it's coming together. It's coming together. It's all coming together. Show us the evidence. Chief Gunn, use this. Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth brought back to his office by Gunn's request. Yeah, this is it. This is it. This is it. I cannot help at all with this game, but I'm loving the vibes. Yes, I love the vibes of this game. I'm not good at it, so from time to time I do look at the guide. So this is just a disclaimer. If you guys want me to play this blind, we're gonna be here for the next 10 years. So I do have a guide open in case things go south. So yeah. Well, I see. Maybe I'll use this later to move your dead body. Wait, what? It's not wrong? What? No. I'm onto something. I'm onto something. I'm onto something. Ah. How do you get him to do it? Is it this one then? Please tell me it is. Please, please, please. Is it this one? Please tell me it's this one. I'm begging you, please. I'm on my last legs. This is how he moved to Texas Goodman. Is it? Ah! We are right. We are right. We are right. Yes. How long have you been a streamer? I've been a streamer for about 8 months, I think. Yeah. Like one of my viewers just celebrated his 7 months sub, and like that's probably, and I got affiliate really fast, so yeah, it's been more than half a year since I started streaming. Yes. A parking stop, Miles Edgeworth. You mean the body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car? I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. You mean I I carried the victim's body? I mean, not literally. Like, you did drive the car properly with the victim's body in. Precisely so. Wait, Mantil said our vibes are great. Is that so? Thank you, Mimzala. Thank you. Yes, my setup and vibes are great. Thank you. Yeah, I work hard to get a good setup, and I also work hard on getting my mic to sound good, I guess. Like, I follow a tutorial on YouTube on like it taught me how to use all kinds of filters. So hopefully I sound nice and clear to all of you. Since October last year? Yeah, since October, because I believe I got affiliate November last year? Yeah, November last year I got affiliate. That's kind of it. Like, I got it at the start of November, so it has been about there. Long time. Like, it feels like a long time, but it also feels so short. You know, time does fly when you're having fun. Yeah, how exciting. You certainly done well with such cute vibes. I can see why is that so. Thank you, Percy. Thank you. Yeah, good. The quality is fantastic. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do everything myself, you know. I got people to design my layout for me. Like, you can find them in the credits. The people who drew my model, the people who rigged my model and stuff like that. Very thankful to them. Yes, but I'm glad I could put everything together. Yeah. But wait, even you know, I didn't plan on returning to my office after the ceremony finished that day. But you did return. Tell me why. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heart. Sorry. I was asked to go by Chief Gun, no less. I knew it was suspicious. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. That screwdriver, that blasted screwdriver. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. So you see, what you were really taking to the prosecutor's office wasn't the screwdriver, but the victim's body in your trunk. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edward's car. Every time I see Edgeworth, I want to give him a little kiss on his forehead. Yes, same. Okay, but I have to say, okay, me as kind of like at least a bit of a Fujo inside. He has such bottom energy, okay? If you guys disagree with me, like, I have so many arguments I could say. Like, come on, he is such a bottom. He's such a bottom. But in any case, he's a very capable, you know, he's a prosecutor, right? Yeah, a very capable prosecutor, and I love him so much. Yeah. He's totally my type. 100% agree. That's right, Percy. Glad you agree. If not, things might get ugly, you know. Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? Speechless? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Sky. Well then. Order! 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 What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. Yeah, it was sus. It was so sus. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. I can't believe the both of them are working together so well. It is a beautiful sight, guys. Mood. Yes, mood. Okay, I ship Phoenix and Miles, like, you know, specifically Phoenix on top, but like, only because Miles is such a bottom. Chief Gunt, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up. Sorry, Wright, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. He's gonna leave early, okay? This is still part 1. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Yeah, what risk? So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman? That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gunt is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? How? Proof that Chief Gunt murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Guy dispose of his body? Do I have any concrete proof? 阿弥陀佛, do we? Do we? Oh my gosh. Nani? But we don't have proof. Wait. Okay. Hi, Raven. Hello. The longest case in this game? Is this the longest? Like, I know it's long, but is it the longest? Like, somehow that reassures me instead of making me scared, because I already know how much longer it will be, but still. Okay. Okay, I'll just say that I checked the guide. Okay, it's a spoiler-free walkthrough. That means it doesn't show me like all the lines and stuff like that. It just says do this for the 5th statement. Yeah. Okay, and it says I have no proof yet. And it's true, okay, because most of the other evidences I could kind of think like, okay, I may be using this. It's probably this. Yeah, but this one, there's no proof. They're right, there's no proof. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. Oh, that's the most painful thing ever. Huh. See, Aji? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Yes, in this game it's the longest. Okay. We can do this, guys. This is the first part. We are not yet in the second part. The second part, I will definitely take a short break before I go for the second part, okay? Yeah, but... yes. Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Raito. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Aji, I'll leave the rest to you. He poofs. He does a poof. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. Oh my god, that's such a sexy line. Look at it. Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. So sexy, I'm gonna screenshot this. Beautiful. Good morning, my favorite team. Oh, good morning, Jackson. Good morning. Are you on your way to class again or something? I don't quite remember what your time zone is. Yes. Am I today? Okay. It's great because I'm finally gonna clear this case today. Okay, this episode, by hook or by crook, we are clearing it. We are clearing it today. Okay. No, nothing is gonna stop me. Yeah, and also it's raining. Okay, see, it's raining. I'm looking out the window right now. It's raining. It's beautiful weather to be playing a game with everyone. Neri and her pretty boys. That's right, my pretty boys. My boy Miles, he's been saying such bottom things the entire time, you know? Just thought I should elaborate on that, yeah. But, Miles has something to say. Mr. Edgeworth? What do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth. Another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Not Emma. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. I love it when he relies on Phoenix. This is beautiful. Gorgeous. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth. I know who she is now. But we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth Lana Sky. Let's go. No, it's Saturday and my toe is broken, going nowhere at the moment. Oh no! I hope your toe recovers soon. Yeah, broken toes suck. Okay, I know I haven't broken my toes before, but I have sprained my ankle before. I know they're not quite the same, but not being able to walk properly, that really sucks. Hope it gets well soon, you know? The defendant, Miss Lana Sky. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task? To dispose of the victim's body in accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Hold on! Huh? Is that Lana? Chief Gant! I thought you were going to eat! Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. This isn't good! Of course, you'll never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Oh, Gun's controlling Lana. Yeah! Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. February 25th, 2:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant's Lobby number 2. Oh. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yes. Yeah, thanks to your help, Itchworth. That chief. He's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe! I'm not a detective anymore. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, he got fired because he let us into the office to investigate. That was terrible for him. Don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office! My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-notch girl you used to work with. Could he mean... Maya? Still. I mean, honestly, Gumshoe, he's grown on me for the past few games. I don't really mind him. Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gun's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? That's why he's chief, boss, not you. It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Unless there's something we can do. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said? But chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Yes, I knew it. I'm gonna pursue this line. Risks. What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Our girl Emma! Yes! I'm so happy she's back. She's so cute. At least investigating his office revealed those 3 pieces of evidence. Yeah, it was valid and shows that he was involved. Yes, exactly. That's the most important part, okay? We got into his office so we could get those evidences that could drag the case until now. So it's not for nothing, but still, poor Gumshoe. Love the energy. Hires himself. Hell yeah. I mean, come on. Gumshoe may not be the brightest bulb in the box, but there's a reason he survived until now, okay? He got that plot armor, you know? Emma, are you okay? Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. Aww. You know, guys, sometimes closure is more important than anything. So, at least that's one good thing that came out of it. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. Oh no. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gun's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do. No. That must be why she became so cold. Yes! No, Mama, my precious. Not the brightest crayon in the box, but hey, still a crayon in there. That's right, Percy, you're right. He's still a crayon. Let's beat Gun's ass. Not the sharpest tool in the shed. Yeah, guys, come on. Come with all the idioms you know. Okay, so we have brightest bulb in the box. We have brightest crayon in the... We have the sharpest tool in the shed. Is there any we missed out? I can't think of anything. Carl. Oh, my we can call me Carl. Okay, Carl. As you wish. As you wish. Yeah, I'm Gumshoe. Gumshoe. I look forward to working with him more. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. Wow, Gumshoe be spitting out big brain facts. Chief Guns may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we'd better get back. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait here? No, I'm going with you. She's coming with us? I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. What a power couple. Beautiful. I almost shed a tear at this beauty. It's time to end this. Toast Shib. Hello? Okay, I genuinely do not know how to pronounce your name. Facilier? Yes, Toast Shib. Shib? Yes, I am a Toast Shib. Yes, let's save our progress up to this point on a neutral letter, right? Yes, let's overwrite the saved data. Just call me Fussy. Okay, Fussy. Hello. Fusey. Fusey. Fussy. Fusey. Fusey. Okay, Fusey. Fusey. Now the sharpest knife in the drawer is the only other one. That's wonderful. That's actually really good. Okay, guys. How about we take a short break, like 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll get back with the final part of this case. Okay, how about that? Yes. How about that? I think that's a great idea. Okay. Yeah. Then I can go settle a few things. Like probably my dinner. My dinner. Well, I'll be eating it after we're done with that, so probably a bit late, but you know? I will. Yes, yes. The final gesture. Okay, so see you guys in a bit. Where's my be right back screen? Be right back. woes, I am back. Okay, so Jackson, you asked, wow, the animation and scene ninja is so cool. Thank you. To teach me how to do that. Okay, so what? The transition between that and my screen is what you call a stinger. So what you can do is commission someone to make you a stinger. Yeah. In order to have sound effects in your stinger, which is that bubbly sound that you can hear, you need to make the stinger a video, a .mov video. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, but as you can see, the effect is super worth it. So yes, yeah, and thank you. Could be right back screen. Thank you. Okay, my designer Hitorine, she did super well on it. I love it so much. It has lots of milk tea on it. I'm just happy. Both milk tea and literal milk tea, you know? Milk tea is the name of my toggle right here. Yes, glad you guys like it. Kombeku, yay! Gekko, thanks for the tips. Yes. Hopefully you can get a really nice green soon. What about iced tea? Iced tea is great as well, but you know my favorite is still like milk tea and bubble tea. Yeah. Yes. So that's what it is. Oh yeah, sure. And perfect art. I think I found out the reason. It's because a while back I tried changing to Stream Elements, so I actually removed my PayPal from Streamlabs. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so I've added my PayPal back into Streamlabs. So but that doesn't make sense though. If you donated, okay, I got it. Because I did not put the alert for Stream Elements. That's why I did not put the alert for Stream Elements. If not, I would have double alerts. So that's probably why. I'm sorry. That's on me. That's on me. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, but it should be fixed now. It should be. I hope. I hope so. Yes. Okay. So we could probably like continue. And thank you for you guys joining the sheepdom. Thank you. Yes, and I will continue so that you guys can see the reasons why you won't regret joining the sheepdom, you know? Trial letter 2. Okay, trial letter 2. Wait, no. Wait, back. I saved in this slot, right? So... okay. Okay. February 25th, 2:21 p.m. District Court Courtroom number 9. Let's go. Oh, now then. We're Doko Island. What do you mean we're Doko Island? There's only Doko. No Doko Island. Now then. Will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand? Oh boy, how do we convince her to talk? Thanks for the hit pad die, thank you. Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you're under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Oh man, she's in such a hard position. Hi, Umi. Umi, is the hard friend? Umi. Welcome to the sheepdom, guys. Welcome. She makes Edgeworth sound like a stalker. Well, he's not. I want to say he kind of is, but he isn't. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Oh man, Emma has more balls than me. Emma has such big energy. Love it. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Guns. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get gunned. Pain. Pain and suffering. I worked alongside guns for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dart convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Are you sure about this testimony? Finally, the judge is doing something right. Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana! If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Well, that's the advantage of, sisters. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Okay, if you're sure about that, we'll take it. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. That's right, Phoenix. You go. Her testimony sounds fake. It does, okay? Her testimony has been vague from the start. Like, if we go into the specifics, I'm thinking the truth will come to light. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Let's go. I worked alongside guns for years. Okay. How many years, exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Detective Gunt and Chief Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good, coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gunt was a respectable detective. That's why. Okay. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. Yeah, about that. But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. She's kind of pissing me off just a little bit. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And Gunt is blackmailing her. That's right. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Now. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Anna. So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Wait, how is that possible? The blood would be dripping all over the floor, right? Right? Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? The music stopped. Hi, Bernardo. I've hydrated, thank you. It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken Prosecutor Award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wouldn't have been killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She tried to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So when you found a scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wounds, and then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Does it matter? Does this often matter? Why did you move the body? I don't want this. When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gun's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body. Okay, let's go. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Yo! Pieces of the jar? You mean... Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So... when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during the struggle. I see. The music stopped. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently, the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Contradiction? Where? Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. Okay? My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. We need to press her more. So you rearranged the crime scene? Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying! She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright! My sister's lying! Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. We did. I fabricated. Broke off the tip. I think we need to ask a bit more about the knife. You planted, everything. Okay. Why did you plant the knife? Yeah. But why did you do that? Come now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out. You doing that lie detection, I'll do my best. Very well. Let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason Miss Sky fabricated the knife. I knew this was the correct way. I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed. According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was the murder weapon, right? Yes, and leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be by having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body. So you buried it inside the victim's stab wound? Yes. Because I hated Dark for what he did. My only motivation was... Sorry. Wait. Not this. I need the evidence list. Excuse me. Is this? Let me try this one. Because you see, it shows this. Right? If the jar was already broken, the jar must have not been shattered. Or rather, a message could not have been written on it. That's true. Ah, rest in peace. You give me a feeling right now. I'm just suddenly a bit sensitive to the air. Because I have my aircon on, so don't mind me. Give me my health! Am I right? My nose is just sensitive. The jar contradicts the second last line, I think. Oh, is that so? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so, oops, sorry. Alright. Let's see. I need the tip of the weapon. I only made motion. Motivation. That's not quite it though, like fabricate it all by myself. There's no way she did it by herself, right? Then we need to look at the edge burst, knife. Oh yeah. Is that so? Is it from this line? Wait, just to double check. Oh, okay, yeah, we are really close, I think. Oops, sorry. Speed run, let's go. Okay, she said it when you said move the body. Car bring honor to the name card, that's right. Oh, okay, right, sorry. If it shattered... Miss Guy, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction? In my testimony? You testify, and I quote, "The pieces of this jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. Aha! Ah! He couldn't have written Emma's name on the shattered jar. Order! Order! Damn! Guys, it thickens. The plot thickens. Sorry, I think it's the cold weather. My nose is suddenly like, yes, it's time to run the tap at full blast. Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. It sounds like he's scolding the jar, but it's a literal bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. One fear. You can see her face is like one fear. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. Okay. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Okay. You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Okay. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Gunn did hide one piece of the jar in his safe, yes. But if it's dark! But if it's dark, how did she notice? How did she notice that there was blood on the jar? So the jar was already broken? It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case. As feeble as the defense's case. But not as feeble as the judge's judgment. What is... You're an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces? Normally I would have. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. Oof. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust. Oof. And ground them to dust. Damn. Well, that helps my case. Lana, you do that for me? It seems you two might make up yet. Aww. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry, okay? Okay, that kind of adds up. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. Oof. What else could I have done in that situation? Anna! I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All them all. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Right. All except one. Yeah, I feel like this is a good place to present this. Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gun's safe. In the chief's safe? But how? I knew it! She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Oh! That means Gant did something to the scene. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. You! Chief Gant got there before you. Ganto asesino! Stonks, stonks, stonks! But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha! Can you believe that, sir? Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that! There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? Nah! No! Rest in pieces. Sorry. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gans arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hit one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. Why would Chief Gun do that? Well, the plot thickens, fellas. Hello, Enzo. How's it going? The plot is so twisting. It twists and turns and... I'm just trying to get through the story. In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Sky believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gan's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Sky became the chief's puppet. Oh dear, she is stressed. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Oh boy. Foul lies. Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. His reputation. Wait a minute. What if? What if what? We're still smack dab in the middle of Gun's trap. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana. Maybe right after all. What do you mean, right? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Sky, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Sky, if you will. Yo. I can't. How's my fave Kali sheep today? I'm not from California though. I'm just a sheep. Yes, but I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. Is she finally going to testify about what Alright, the witness may testify once more for the final time. He says final, but it's really... When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Ooh. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Guns help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable! The body was impaled on the armored sword? You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Do you? Actually, I do have proof. Fellas! She did mention that she always keeps a camera on her. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Anna must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. We received a book. A children's book. I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check the evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. I know since you sound so American though, I just can't unhear. I see. Well, glad you think I sound that way, I suppose. How's the case going? Beautifully. Beautifully. Jang, let's check this. Can we... Oh! We got it! Hey, there's a picture here. Oh, oh my. This is the actual crime scene. We got this. Oh yeah, cute. Thanks for the hip pet. The hydrate and posture check. Okay, let me noms. I forgot I had a snack and I resumed the stream without finishing it. So I'm gonna eat it. Okay. The actual crime scene? Jesus. Wait. What? Coming out of his mouth? No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Lana's picture inserted into the court record. Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest! Could that be? The cloth we found inside Chief Gunn's safe! The one with her handprint on it, do you remember? What's this? This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints are yours! They're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. As long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin his cross-examination. Actual crime scene. Watch them go actual crime scene 2.0, okay? That's the type of game. When I arrived, I thought... The man's back! The man's back. Come on now, Aji. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gunn. What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. Objection! I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. So poetic, Miles! That's so poetic! So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean? You still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone... So, what's your excuse, Righto? He's talking about the clock. Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death? Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Pain and suffering? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? Oh no. Let's see if you Antia. Sucks. Better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? No. No. We cannot show it. No, do not show it. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie! Chief Gaunt? You opened my safe! I know you took what was inside! Oh! The conclusive evidence! I don't know what you're talking about! Mr. Wright! Why don't you show them? We found it together! Oh, I see! It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gaunt? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut off for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive? To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Raito. What gall? Well, I can just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? Pain and suffering, I thought. Yeah, I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. Saying all this in front of the court, he has balls. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead of forging the evidence? That's why he's the chief. What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hit the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Huh. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Raito, cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gaunt, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. foolish move, Raito. You should have shown it then before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Can we show it? Can we show it? Can we? Ooh. Oh. What? No! Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Sorry. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Since we've reached this point, let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh yes, at last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean... it could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ha! 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 You're as slow on the uptick as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Raito had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? The sound of betrayal in his voice. But Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... Emma? Emma Sky? What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh, you're really something, Raito. You knew this girl did it all along. And you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but it's true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Sky, you knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like you really didn't. Miss Sky, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? He's stoned. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gunt, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Skye, wasn't it? No. I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. My man, Phoenix! My man! What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Chief Gunt, your tyrannical reign ends here. Oh! Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. I think it's this. Okay, you see, guys. You see, this is a lot of blood. But the piece of cloth that we saw did not have a single drop of blood. Like, guys, this is the evidence. This is it. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Skye took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes. His shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth! Wait, there's no blood on it. Yes, I bet it was Gunt all along. I mean, there's no doubt it's him. Since Emma Skye's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at the time. No! This is nonsense! Now then, Chief Gunt, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Skye, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on Armor's sword? It's pretty much evident at this point. He's the one. That's right, Carl. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. It's finally all over. Objection! He's sweating. That was close, right? So you almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Order, order! What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Aji? Earlier, old Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. Oh, then what's your excuse, Wright? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? And then blah 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 blah. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair! Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Gunn's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Huh? Well, Mr. Wright, well, the second rule of evidence law says that if it's related to the case, then it can be used, right? It seems, at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? Screw Gunn, that's right. That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? Is it... Ooh. I admit, I refused to present it at one point. Aha! So the evidence is illegal. Objection! Not done yet. No, it isn't, Mr. Gunn. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Aji, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe. There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. Surprise evidence is still illegal. Fingerprints don't make it legal. I know, right? Like, he kind of did this to himself. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No! He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. He did this to himself! You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh, yes! No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Go get the pitchforks and light the torches, people, yes? Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. Perfect meme for this bit right now. Sorry, links are not allowed in chat. If you want to, you could share in the Discord. Thank you, Fuji. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before the prosecutor marshal in his final moments. Yummy! Uno River, that's right. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gunt! The killer was you! Ah, my ears. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then, all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'll bring up SL9. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car? I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker? I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So you left the jar fragments and the glove. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy. Why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. Oof. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Aji. What? It looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. Somehow this feels so sad. I'm sorry too, Damon Gaunt. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Uji. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Raito here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning. Damn. Why does it sound like a wedding? The melodious sounds of a new beginning. Mouth itch lord, that's right. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gaunt betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. This dude shipping Phoenix and Miles. Yeah, I mean, like, he did an unforgivable thing, but I can totally agree that shipping them together is like, mwah, A-okay, beautiful. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gun to help me forge evidence, up until today. So... it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Aww. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Such high praise. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Aww, Anna's smiling. Yeah, a smile is so precious! Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Ah, he's so toon. He is Miles Toonworth. He's Miles Toonworth. Liar! I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You're reciting a stream again? Yes, I am. By the way, I'm Miori. Y-O-R-I. No, M-I-O-R-I. Yeah, I know it's probably a typo, but there is another VTuber who goes by Miori, so I feel like this might be a very important distinction. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, smile. Stop it! I only did my job! In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Guy? Yes, Your Honor? You're innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. But I'm sure she's so relieved that her sister is safe. Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I've felt free of these heavy chains. Oh, this is so precious! Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty! We got this! We did it! We did it! Not guilty! That is all. This court is assured. Yes! Thanks for the hip pat. Yes! Oh my god, we did it! Wow! This went on the whole day, didn't it? Like, it was like 12 something at the start, and then now it's like 5 p.m. February 25th, 5:06 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Aww. Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. Oh, her smile is so precious. Listening to this theme is so rewarding. Yes, it is. You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me. Oh, she... Finally, you know, the little sister thing is back. Oh, it's like she didn't say anything to me. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Gumshoe. Every time you say that, you are. Oh, guess I am. Stop it! I'll come back later. They're just reusing the scene, isn't it? Wait, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making our detective run all around while on duty. Well, I feel like they should... And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, line up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh. Are you here because of my sister again? Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Who? Lana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. Aw, Gumshoe, best boy! Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. Aww. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis. I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now, I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. I'm in hiding what I believed to be the truth. I was deceiving you. Sis? I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Aww. Of course! You know, sis? I always knew that one day you'll come back. And now you have. Precious smile! Oh, my heart! The smile. Oh. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find a way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on towards a brighter future. At least, that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe. Me? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. It's soon worth it again. Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right. Well, I'll be going now. Oh no, he's so awkward. Like, bye-bye. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realized today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth! Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Guns was right. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'll need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth... Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gunn did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gunt and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. Edgeworth, yeah. What was that, though? You said, in order to fight crime on my own, I'll need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. Oh no, help me. You were working together, Mr. Wright. Oh my god. Help. This game. Lana is a shipper confirmed. Guys, who the hell doesn't ship these two? Holy shit. Watch me. Okay, guys. The reason I started playing Ace Attorney is because one of my friends highly recommended it, and I knew from the beginning she shipped Miles and Phoenix, and I was like, okay, you know, it was just something I filed away in the back of my mind. But after playing the game myself, oh shit. I should have just assumed you. That's right. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership... Anyway... you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence, huh? What evidence now? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. I think it was this one. Is it this one? It's the evidences. Oh, okay. Is it this? Okay. Oh, I'm so nervous. That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. I need to stop this. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth? If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth is blushing, that's right! I'm blushing. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Marry me. Yeah, that's what he should say, you know? Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? I still think Miles' smile is also really good. Oh. But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Oh, and do stay to the end of the credits. Oh, is that so? Okay, I will. Farewell. I'd better get going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. Aww. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Oh my gosh! It's another cute textbook. Scientific Investigation. It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis, I will. And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought just say it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Way to go, detective! I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, haha. You see, Mr. Wright here's the one who'll be footing the bill. Huh? Huh? What? You think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Huh? 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 Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys, let's go. Oh, that is... that was so good. That was so good, what the heck? I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under top coroner. Wow. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Aww. So cute. Thank you for this. Oh. Excuse me. I burped. Man. Harriet Megumi, thank you for joining the sheepdom. Yikes! I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalized you anymore, it'll be worse than firing you. Yep, that's why they said. It just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily. That's great. That's great to hear, Gumshoe. Good that you got your job back. Okay, don't come to Phoenix. Don't come to Phoenix's office. Stop that. Don't do that. Me and Gray were holding out so long. See, thank you. That was me more. I was very invested in the story. Okay, I was super invested in it. These chapters are so long. Yeah, they're so long. My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir! Then I can be just like that dick Gumshoe. He got demoted, Lamau. How long is the game? Oh, you don't want to know, man. Next thing you don't want to know. Days. It's probably days long. It's so long. Every case is long, okay? Back from a long night of work. Hope you're doing okay, Harriet. Oh my god, that blasted thing is outside! Thank you for the hip. Oh my god, this ugly thing. Can you imagine they had to... It fell. Planet is also long. One fear. Kinda sore, to be honest. Yeah, oh dear, oh dear. Well, you're probably working in a fairly physical job, so hang in there, okay? You got this. What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with Miss Star managed to sneak this into me? She's seeing one of the gods, it seems. Well, cowboy, it looks like you did it. You even gave Bambino back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Yes. Marshall will be like, hell yeah. And then Angel is like, yeah, I got a boyfriend in prison. Here you go. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. The right way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. Aww. Drawings still not. I want people clothing to which I usually don't know. No! Clothing you're not used to can get very uncomfortable. Sorry to hear that. The judge. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I better be... Huh? Oh no! I forgot my gavel! Sorry, gotta go! Oh, finally we get to see what that like, chair looks like. Marshall just sipping his whiskey. It ain't Marshall if he's not sipping his whiskey and being like, Bambina, you know? Oh man, those are so precious. Ah, precious moments. This game is so good. Yeah, I kind of like these types of games. There we go, there's Maya! Ah! Nothing soothes the soul like a fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Missing Maya! Afternoon training's about to begin. Coming! Well, see you around, Nick. Oh, everyone's working so hard. That was an insanely long case. Okay, so I heard from some of you guys that apparently this is the longest case, right? Is it the longest case? Oh boy. Yeah. It doesn't seem like cases can get longer than this, but I don't know. Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? I brought you your tea. What's going on? In this game at least? What the hell, Carl? What do you mean in this game at least? Oh no, his resignation letter? Is that what he put down? What? Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Aww. Oh no, this is so pretty. Oh, this is so gorgeous. Oh, I love this picture. It's so precious. I love it. In this game at least, I haven't seen the other cases in the other two games to give an exact length. I see. Oh no, I have one fear now. Oh no, but it was so good, guys. It was so good. It was so good. Yeah. And we have finally, at long last, wrapped up. We have at long last wrapped up the first game. Next is Justice for One, yet the first game. Yay, guys! Let's celebrate! We are done with the very first game. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Thanks for the hit pack. Yay! Okay, let me just change my scene to... Okay, I'm gonna turn off the game. Hello! Okay. So, that was super fun. That was super fun! Thanks for joining the Sheepdom, Money. Thank you! That's such a cute name. It's Money. Okay, let me just change the category. So just chatting, yeah. Let's go. Well, it was nice to meet you. Join Discord anyway. Thank you, Carl. I hope to see you more in the Discord. Yay! Yay! That's great. Woo! Okay, so I hope today was kind of cozy. There are a lot of plot twists. Okay, not gonna lie. I did not expect it to be this long. But I knew it was gonna be long. I didn't quite know exactly how long it was gonna be. Yes, so you guys had to handle all of that with me. I'm very touched. Yay! Okay, so I'll probably look up some of the other cases, and then maybe I can only stream this game on weekends. Like if I want to finish one case per stream, I would probably have to. I'll probably have to really plan it out. Yeah, like you know, normal games can be finished in about 2 to 3 hours. You know, but that's. Let me stretch. Thank you, Kaikyos. I have been hit-patted and done an unstreamed. These games are crazy long, that's right. They're so long. Why are they so long? I mean, I'm not complaining. These games are really good. They're really good. Like, I'm just enjoying them so much. But could they maybe be a tiny teensy bit shorter? I've seen some of the other streamers stream the other games, like the newer games. You know? Sure. The Ace Attorney games are minimum 80 hours. The longer ones are over 100. What do you mean? What do you mean? Over 100? Oh no. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's not the kind of game you'll be finishing in one sitting, okay? You cannot play 100 hours worth of content in like 24 hours. That just doesn't happen. You can try to speedrun, but even then, it's gonna take 10 years. You have to go through all of the text and stuff like that, you know? Oh no! Yeah, but in any case, I believe that it was really fruitful. The newer Ace Attorney games got some banger graphics. Oh yeah, I did see some. I saw that a lot of it is animated like really well. So I really look forward to playing some of those games. Yeah, the next one is, you said Justice for All, right? Justice for All. I hope I get to see my man Miles even more, but if not, I guess I'll just have to deal with it, you know? I just have to deal with it. You don't always get what we want. Yeah, but I know that one thing that we can, you know, the one thing we can look forward to is definitely the banger music. Okay, the banger music. Alright, no one's gonna ever say Ace Attorney does not have banger music, okay? Ace Attorney's a mwah! Yeah, and you know, speaking of banger music, like I listened to the theme, like quite a few people did a mashup of the prosecution theme, the objection theme, is that what you call it? With Danganronpa's theme as well. So it's such a beautiful matchup. Like, I wish these two games would have a crossover, but you know, that's wishful thinking. But you know, one can dream. I'd rather play a long game for longer enjoyability. Wow, I mean, yeah, I agree. Longer game for longer enjoyability, you know? If a game is too short, understandably, you won't get to enjoy it for too long. So, yeah, I suppose, I do agree with that. Shouldn't be complaining about long games. Long games are great. You know, usually they're worth the time, right? Most people won't make games longer than they have to be because it's pain and suffering to create more content. Ah, cute, thank you. I shall hydrate and unshrimp a little bit. Taikach played the newest one. It took him 10 months of only playing on stream to beat it. What the hell? What? How the hell? What? What? I think okay, is I would probably need like a whole year to clear the rest of the games. Like probably a schedule of streaming once or twice a week. If not, oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh no. This is a disaster. But honestly, I don't mind, because it's always great to play some games. Hey, who the hell would say no to games, right? Right? Come on. You guys probably won't say no to games, right? 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 Gosh, but only 10 months of only playing on stream? That's insane. 10 months. It's almost a year. Yes. Yeah. No, nothing. I was just trying to flex my model's like wide-eyed look, you know? It can do this like... Yeah. So, okay. So, to all the people that joined me today, thank you very much for choosing to join the sheepdom, okay? So, I have been streaming for about 7 to 8 months. I think about 7 months, closer to 7 months, as mentioned. But I've only very recently debuted this avatar. Okay, previously I was a PNG tuber, okay? If you go on my YouTube and you look at my really old streams, you can see all of my, past versions. Like, this is my newest one. Okay, this is my newest one, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy with my current form. Yeah, my debut stream should be up on my Voss channel. You can access it from my YouTube channel. You can access my 2 other channels from my YouTube channel. Yes. He was a cute Shiba doll. That's right. I was a cute Shiba doll, you know? I've since retired her, but I will, from time to time, probably bring her back. Or like get art of her, okay? She's very precious. You know why she's so precious? Because I drew her myself. I drew the previous version myself, yeah. And I didn't draw this model myself. I had a very good senpai draw it for me, okay? An art senpai, art friend. Yeah. So my papa is someone that I already knew and kind of like low-key persuaded him, you know? Kind of like, hey, so you wanna draw a VTuber? Do you wanna draw a VTuber? Yeah, that's kind of what I did. Yeah, but anyway, I feel like it was for the better because I'm here today, thanks to him. As well as my rigger, you know? If any of you are interested in who my rigger and my artists are, just do the exclamation L2D, you know? You know? I put the command there for a reason. If you're curious, yeah. Love this model. I really love this model, and I should be streaming more this week, but work kick my ass. Yeah, work kick the ass. Kick my ass. So, yeah. I'll try to stream more, like the coming week, but I still cannot have a definitive schedule. Yeah, like weekends I can stream, but weekdays, oh gosh, I'm so tired. Why are money earning stuff so tiring? Amen to them for not only giving us sheep, but also for giving sheep the most praiseworthy thighs. I mean, alright, since, you know, the rest of the people who don't know my thighs, I'll just show you guys my thighs. Aren't these thighs gorgeous? Aren't these thighs gorgeous? I'll zoom in. Okay, I'll zoom in. Like, come on, look at them thighs. Look at these thighs. Look at them. Yes, thighs. So guys. Do you like my thighs? Do you like them? You like them? What did I come into? You came into praiseworthy thighs. That's what you came into, okay? Aren't they beautiful? Midriff. I guess so. Nice midriff. You guys already saw that though. Midriff. That's right. Wait, let me see if I'm in the correct. Okay, I think I was a bit like this. I feel like it was something like that. Yeah, we'll go with this. I think we're a bit lower. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, my design was done by my very skilled papa, so you know, very happy with it. Very happy with it. Yeah, and I even have a tiny little pet. See, he has an independent blink animation. Okay, look at him. Independent blink animation. He does not blink at the same time as me. That's the best. Yeah, and I also have some iOS exclusive stuff, you know, like yeah. But in any case, yeah, I'm just happy. I'm just so happy. Okay, I always get every single opportunity to like flex my art, and all the features of my model. Yeah. Okay. I think I want to show you guys like. I like that you said that he blinked at the same time as you. Is that so? Well then, it was just unlucky. Okay, let me see. I believe I can use this. Hoi hoi. I love this one. Okay, guys, I love this expression the most. Evil smirk, okay? Yeah, okay, you know what? Another one I want to show you guys. Oh, what? You guys see that? Oh, what? Did you guys see that? I have become cheap! I'm cheap now. Okay, let me turn back. Yay! I'm back to my normal. Cheaper. Yes, it's cheaper. I see you have redeemed the Nyan Nyan. Gremlin form sheep. That's right. I guess technically it's a gremlin form, but oh well. Nyan. Okay, I do a cat impression, right? Okay. There's your cat impression. Yeah. Wouldn't a dog want one? I mean, I do have a wolf. Like, redeem. You know, Perfect Dark kind of like abused his rights earlier, but you know. Wouldn't a dog want one? Yeah. Cat sheep, let's go. I mean, Shibas are technically just cats and dogs' bodies, okay? I stand by this point. This is the hill I will die on. Cats. You know, Shibas are essentially cats and dogs' bodies, you know? Cats and dogs' bodies, okay? They act the same way. Sheep, honestly, just act like cats, okay? They just happen to look like dogs, okay? They're so independent, okay? And so proud that they might as well be cats, honestly, okay? Yeah, don't look down on sheep. Sheep kind of act like cats. They act like cats. It's terrible, you know? Terrible and good at the same time, I suppose. Either way, you know. I feel like that sometimes. Yes. So, well, I believe that it is time for me to send you guys off on your way. Okay, let me just try and find someone, okay, to rate. Let's see. Who is online at the moment? Okay, let me open up Twitch so that I can preview the streams that I plan to send you guys to. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Let's see if I can just mute. Audio on this one. Great, Taika. She likes Ace Attorney. Who is that? Taika channel? Ooh, interesting. I think I should rate someone that is maybe... I should probably rate someone that has like lesser viewers. Well, okay then. I will rate my homie Broccolion. Okay? I will rate my homie Oleora. Okay, a broccoli lion. Broccoli lion, how about that? What? Oh my gosh, finally the emotes are working again. I don't know what happened. Like the past few days, it did something really bad. Not past few days, past few weeks, it did not show up. Okay? So, in which case, I will be sending you guys off too. Broccoli lion. Okay? So thank you guys for coming today. I really appreciate all of you. Okay, I really appreciate all of you. So hopefully I'll see you guys again next time. Alright? I'll see you guys again next time. And we can play more Ace Attorney and have fun together. Alright? If you'd like to see more of my content, please do follow me on Twitter. Or join my Discord so that you'll be notified when I go online. Okay? And I also tweet a lot. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming today. Bye bye.